Welcome to the show and thanks for clicking on the video. Let me start off by saying, what a crazy, weird, yet entertaining random Sunday this was. Because the only thing that I was on my schedule today was watch the US Open and not look out for trades in both the NBA and the MLB. Two crazy, pretty big name trades happening and impactful trades happening in both of those leagues. We had Desmond Bain get traded. Then, just after the Yankees sweep the Red Sox, we have Rafael Devers get traded to the San Francisco Giants. And then we have the U.S. Open, which was complete chaos throughout the last couple holes. But first, I want to start in the NBA. Desmond Bain got traded. First thing that happened, Desmond Bain got traded 11 a.m. this morning. I was just woke up a couple hours ago. Now look, Desmond Bain has been traded. Pretty interesting to the Orlando Magic for KCP, 4 first-round picks, and Cole Anthony was also thrown in there. And for both sides, I believe it's a good trade. Like, is 4 first-round picks, in my opinion, kind of a reach for Desmond Bain? He hasn't made an All-Star game, but he is kind of like that All-Star, like that last All-Star pick for the All-Star game type player. You know, I think Tyler Hero is better than him. There's a couple other players that are in the All-Star game that are better than him. But Desmond Bain can make an All-Star game, especially when he's more of the primary scorer, besides Paulo Banchero, on the Orlando Magic. You know, John Morant was kind of more ball-dominant, but Desmond Bain now held the ball in his hands much more on the Magic. But 4 first-round picks, KCP, and Cole Anthony for Desmond Bain, who was pretty good this season. He wasn't as good as he was the last couple seasons, but he was able to stay more healthy. He played, I think, 69 games, 65-plus games this season, averaged 19 points per game. In the 2 previous seasons, he averaged 21 and 23, but he played less games. He wasn't as healthy. He averaged 19 for the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that got absolutely slaughtered by the still reigning terror of OKC. And, you know, his numbers fell off in the playoffs, averaging 16 in the playoffs. But Desmond Bain is a good player. You know, he's good on defense. His defensive rating was 113 this season. He's good. He's a scorer, which is what the Orlando Magic need. And the number one thing for the Magic was, and their motivation for this trade was, the East is getting weaker, as we see. The Cavs are beatable. They had an historic regular season, but they're beatable. The Pacers beat them. The Pacers are good. They need to get better. But the Celtics lost Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown just got surgery. He's going to be back for the season, but Jason Tatum's out for most of the season. Giannis might get traded. Damian Lillard's out for the season. You know, the Heat might get KD and get better. But other than that, the East is wide open with a lot of the, usual contending teams in the East, or the good teams throughout the season, hurt and maybe, not as impactful, not as powerful as they are before with the Celtics and the Bucks. And who knows what's going on with the 76ers. So this is their time to contend. The East is wide open, and the Magic had a competitive 6-game series with the Boston Celtics. It was good. They showed they were young. They got in the playoffs. They got their feet wet in the playoffs. They have J.B. Bickerstaff as a coach, a great head coach, and now they needed to add a scorer. They needed a true scorer. Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero they're ball in the hand scorer. They can create shots. Don't get me wrong. But you need a guard scorer, and that's what Desmond Bain needs. He's plugging right into that KCP starting shooting guard role. They still have a lot of young players. Jonathan Isaac, Anthony Black, Wendell Carter, and Paulo and Franz are still very, very young players and very good. Paulo's good. He's been improving every season he's been in the league. So they're really good. And the Magic needed that score, and I like what the Magic are doing. They built their team through the draft. They're not a big market. They can't sign free agents. So you know what they did? They traded for he's not a star player, but he's a good player. And he was the second option on the Grizzlies. He was probably the third biggest player on there, Jaren Jackson, John Morant. But he's still damn good, and he could be an all-star talent. And I believe he could be an all-star talent with the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic are really good on defense too, and he plugs right in. He's not going to be a defensive liability. He's gonna hold his own on defense. He's a good defender. He's known as a good defender and a quality scorer that can shoot the basketball. And that's what they needed. Shooters, scorer, guard that can have that ball in their hands, and it's really good. Average 19 points per game. Now on the Grizzlies side of the trade, I like that they got four first round picks if the direction was to go and try to slowly rebuild this team. But the question is, what's going on with Jaren Jackson? What's going on with John Morant? That's what teams are going to be calling about. They're going to be saying, what the hell's going on with John Morant? Is he available? Is Jaren Jackson available? What's going on? And clearly the Grizzlies didn't like what they had this season. They fired Taylor Jenkins right before the season ended. They had the new head coach, whoever that was. And now I think they're trying to restart. Because I don't think, with Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, and John Morant at the helm, you're not going to really do anything. They weren't able to get KD at the deadline if that was even an option. But I know they were kind of in the bunch to, the rumors KD at the deadline to go to the Grizzlies. But other than that, I don't see them being anything. They were hovering around that 6 to 8 seed. They ended up getting the 8 seed, unfortunately. They made it into the playoffs, but got beat by the Thunder. And the West is so good, and they're not going to beat those quality teams. So I think it is right for them to cash out on Desmond Bane, get 4 first-round picks, try to hit in the draft, and see what they have. Now, do they trade John Morant? If John Morant wasn't a guy that gets in trouble off the court and a guy that has a lot of headlines off the court, I would say no. But since he is, I think you cash on John Morant too. Give him to a team that's willing to give up picks and go the Thunder route. Go collect some damn picks, build through the draft, build through your youth. Do them what the Magic did. Build through your youth. Even though their youth is right there, Desmond Bane, 26 years old, John Morant younger, Jaren Jackson younger. I don't think Jaren Jackson is what they can keep Jaren Jackson and keep John Morant, but I think they need to trade one of those two. Cash out, get those draft picks that people are giving up like candy. People are giving up draft picks. Teams are giving out draft picks like they grow on trees. Teams that are trying to contend right now, they're giving out draft picks like they grow on trees. So cash out on one of those players. You can keep one of the young players. That's it. Now the crazier thing everybody's talking about with this Desmond Bane trade is Desmond Bane got 4 first-round picks. Mikal Bridges got 5 first-round picks, and Luka Doncic got 1 first-round pick, which is just insane to everybody that knows the NBA. That Luka Doncic, a rising young superstar who averages 30 plus a game and 10 assists and 8 rebounds, only got 1 first-round pick and a guy that can barely stay on the court. It's insane, man. It's insane. That's what I'm saying. You got to shop these guys around. You got to cash out with the team that's going to give you the most picks if you're looking to get rid of these players. Because the picks people are giving up are just absolutely insane. Now, to the trade that people in the MLB world are comparing to the Luka Doncic trade. Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants. Red Sox to the Giants. Rafael Devers, their star player for a long time, is gone. The Red Sox have just have gotten hot. This is what I don't understand. It is similar to the Luka trade. The Red Sox reports came out. They didn't shop him around. Red Sox just have gotten hot. The Mavericks just lost the NBA Finals. It's not really the same, but the Red Sox have finally caught their stride here. After a rough start for both the Red Sox and Devers to start the season, the Red Sox finally catch their stride. And Devers is now hitting .272, 15 bombs, 58 RBIs, 74 hits. Devers is having a really good season. He put it together. In March, April, he wasn't doing good. He was striking out for a while. All the Boston fans were complaining about him. But he's put it together. The Red Sox have put it together. They're 9-4 in June. And they just swept the Yankees. Rafael Devers, known for owning the Yankees. Not a better way to go out than hitting a bomb against the Yankees in your last game in a Red Sox uniform. Can't go out better than that. But the Red Sox just swept the Yankees. And then they trade their star player. They have Jaren Duran. They just got Bregman, which is a major piece, if you know what's going on, in trading Rafael Devers. Rafael Devers is not a favorite of the front office. Even to some fans, they don't like him because of what he did this offseason. The Red Sox bring in Alex Bregman, the hot free agent. He plays third base. Devers plays third base. They wanted to get Devers to switch to first base so he could play defense and get, he got paid. So what they want him to play, they want to use him on defense and to hit. He said no. He got paid for paying third base. He wants to play third base. He's not switching for anybody. Well, guess what? Bregman got the third base. Devers got no. They didn't put him at first base. He's DH. He just gets paid to hit. And in the front office, the coach, they didn't like that. They didn't like Devers. So I guess this is a trade him while it's hot moment. The Red Sox are hot. He's caught and hot. So Devers gone. Now what they did wrong is they traded him for a bag of baseballs. They got Kyle Harrison, who just got optioned down to AAA after the trade. Jordan Hicks, a former reliever, failed starter. I think he has like a 7 ERA. He's hurt right now. And Jose Bayo, who was just, one of those throw-in prospects that are in like FCL ball, affiliate ball. So they didn't get anything of value. They didn't get a top prospect for Rafael Devers, who's probably gonna be an all-star. No, they got a bag of baseballs. And if I was a Red Sox fan after getting hot and finally catching hope in your team, that it's a pretty good team on paper. They just called up their number one prospect in baseball. They got Marcelo Meyer, who hit 2 home runs this weekend. On Thursday, and he's been getting hot. Roman Anthony, he hasn't gotten hot as of late, but he's going to get hot. He's the number 1 prospect. He's good. Jarren Duran, there's been rumors about them trading him. So you would have thought Jarren Duran would get traded before Rafael Devers. Nope. Duran stays. He's good. They got Bregman, Tristan Campbell. They got a good team that should have been playing better earlier in the season, but they finally put it together, and now they're playing what they can be. And they got Garrett Crochet, of course. The pitching's all right. But weird timing, weird trade. Just weird in general. What's the Boston Red Sox exact record at this weekend? 37-36. 37-36. They're only 6.5 games behind the Yankees for the AL East, which is not bad at all, considering how they were not playing good just a month ago. And they traded their best player for a Kyle Harrison, 2 failed starters, some other player, and another random old prospect. After beating their rivals, sweeping the Yankees, who are one of the better teams and the best teams in the AL, one of the best teams in all the MLB. It's just weird. It's just insane. It was a front office move that they didn't like because they didn't shop and they didn't do anything. Completely insane. It just happened right after the game, right before the San Francisco Giants played. Kyle Harrison was supposed to start Sunday Night Baseball tonight. He was throwing and then got announced he was on a tree. He got traded to the Red Sox. And Devers was on the team playing before getting kicked off and getting sent back to Fenway to go pick up his car and take his things and go move his ass to San Francisco. Crazy trade. 2 crazy weird trades. Devers way more, a superstar player in his league than Desmond Bain is, but still crazy trade. And to continue, or what started off as a theme of a weird Sunday, the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open was extremely weird. To start off Sunday, we had Sam Burns in the lead with Adam Scott. Those were the 2 final pairings of the Open. I think they got to, the 10th hole. Starting downpour. Then all of a sudden after, Sam Burns begins to absolutely shit the bed. Adam Scott begins to absolutely shit the bed. And players that I don't remember seeing in the damn leaderboards, because I was paying attention to the top spots. I don't remember seeing the damn leaderboards start calling up after the rain delay. After terrible playing conditions in Oakmont. Terrible. Some of the worst golf conditions ever played. I don't know why they didn't just... I understand you can't continue everything to Monday, especially 8 more holes, but it was awful. And there was also a spot where Sam Burns, I believe, tied for first at this point, or might have been trailing by 1. He wanted relief on a certain spot where there was completely water. The video got released. Look it up. It looks like a hole. He's hitting in a puddle. And he don't get no relief. He asked for a second opinion. No relief. He has to hit it. Ends his day. He ends up double bogeying on that hole. And it was just the end of the day for the leader throughout 2 days of the tournament. And then J.J. Spawn, who was neck and neck on Saturday with Sam Burns, makes a comeback after shitting the bed. To begin, prior to the rain delay, he shot +5 prior to the rain delay and shot 2 on... It would be, I think, 3 under after the delay. He ends up winning the tournament on a crazy walk-off birdie on the 18th hole to beat McIntyre, who they showed, and you could tell that guy was in shambles. Now, I'm not a golf guy, but I watched the majors. I pay attention to the majors. I got my guy I want to win, and they absolutely screwed Sam Burns. But it's also insane. Oakmont is a insanely hard course to play. I mean, JJ Spawn won with 1 under, and the guy that was leading was +1, 1 over. So it's insane. Hovland was in it. Scheffler was still waiting around, even though he was +4 to end the tournament. It was just insane. You know, I like it for a change. You know, the Masters, you had people 12 under. You know, Roy McIlroy fighting it out. But this was weird. It's just like, you know, there's always a hope for just guys like Scheffler, who was sitting at 10 or 7. You know, there was just hope for them to possibly win with all these other guys choking, and a lot of them did. I mean, Hatton, he looked in a great spot to win coming down the stretch, and he just absolutely got caught like right by a bunker and just shitted himself. Same with Sam Burns. You know, these guys, and it was just complete momentum switch after the rain delay. It was insane, you know. Saturday I think there was also rain delay on Saturday. It was a Friday, but there's torrential downpour, terrible conditions, and it affected the play. But the person that was able to play through them, get hot at the right time. It was crazy. There were 6 guys at one point tied for first down the stretch. It was a completely weird. It's already a weird tournament because it's at Oakmont, which is a completely hard course. Caitlin Clark tweeted out she would shoot 130 on that damn course. It was a completely weird tournament. But JJ Spawn, who was the leader, the first day, he choked up the lead. He let up the lead. He was still in second on Saturday, but he dropped all the way down to like 4th on Sunday. Rain delay caught his momentum, put it all together. After the rain delay, he was able to pull it together and win the tournament. Crazy. American won the tournament. I was rooting for him towards the end. Once I realized my boy Scheffler was out, I was rooting for JJ Spawn, the American, to win. It was a crazy tournament. You know, McIntyre just crept up out of nowhere. We had Hatton sitting in there out of nowhere. Hovland was in it the whole time. But JJ Spawn ended up pulling it down. That's all I have. A weird... You know, I wasn't going to record on a Sunday. But a weird and but very entertaining. Because I was thinking on Saturday, what am I going to record about if I record a video? Can I record a video about something? You know, just to put it out there? And I was thinking, there is nothing that I can possibly cover right now. Then Sunday comes around. I look, just after waking up, Desmond Bain traded. Then, I get to watch the U.S. Open. Crazy U.S. Open. Then, Rafael Devers is traded. What the hell's going on? Weird Sunday. And we're out. Thanks for watching.